Welcome to Chomp Talk, another iteration of all the things that are going on at Brazosport College. I'm Vincent, Solis, your host for today's podcast. Happy holidays. This is at the latter part of the fall 2025 semester. So if you are in the viewing audience, happy holidays. We are wishing you all the best. Today we have a really exciting show. We are going to be talking with our Provost, Dr. Monique Baucham, and two of our exceptional team members who are going to be working on a new project that we are all going to be speaking about today, which is going to be launching additional podcasts to help support all of the information initiatives that take place at Brazosport College. So welcome, folks. How is everybody?
Doing well.
All right. So with us today, we have got, as I mentioned, our Provost, Dr. Monique Baucham. We have Ms. Tanisha Millender from our Veterans area. And then we also have Mr. Carl Grossman from our petrochemical department. So welcome to the podcast, folks. How is everybody? Yeah, you guys ready for a good show?
Yes.
All right, Dr. Baucham, let's start with you. So you and I had a conversation about how we continue to promote the institution as much as we can in this new era. And I say new, air quotes, ish, podcast, digital space. And we've put together this great facility. We're working on a lot of different things, but you and I had a discussion about, well, what if we continue to focus on all the things that are related to the college, but then really bring in some external guests that can talk about their journeys, their leadership, their connection to the campus or to our community. And we just kind of got the ball rolling and said, okay, well, with every great idea, there's somebody that kind of needs to make it happen. So we then started talking about Tanisha and Carl to kind of be our executive producers for the podcast and add to their duties in addition to everything else that they're doing. So Dr. Baucham, let's talk a little bit about this. What was the genesis of the idea to kind of promote more podcasts for Brazosport College in the community?
Our goal here is to ensure that the community knows all of the great things Brazosport is doing. We want to connect our community members with the Brazosport leadership, with Brazosport students, so that they can continue to hear all of the things that we're actually doing with the community dollars. We want to make sure that things like our esports, as well as things like tutor.com, different things that we are doing across the campus to make a difference in the lives of our students. We want our community members to know that that is happening in every aspect of the campus.
So a big part of it that we've spoken about is how do we make sure that we utilize all the resources that we have, thanks to our amazing community, but make sure that we're spending our dollars wisely and focus on the ultimate goal, which is student success. So let me ask you just a quick sidebar question, Dr. Baucham. So, we talk about these really great ideas. You're in the role a year now. What's one big idea that you brought to the table that you made happen that we're super proud of?
We are super proud of our SACS accreditation results. Okay.
Yeah. So for the world that's listening, SACS.
That is the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, Commissional Colleges. That is our institutional accreditor.
That's the big one. That's the one that takes place once every 10 years, viewing audience. So to get through that is a big deal. So Dr. Baucham led the charge on that. And what was the biggest learning experience through that event?
The biggest learning experience, I would say, with Brazosport College is that we can accomplish anything as a team. So we had 10 months to actually get the report ready. That's generally something that's done in the span of 2 years or 18 months. But to do it within 10 months, I think was just a phenomenal feat. And we did it well. So typically what happens with the accreditation review is that you submit an initial huge report. Then a committee of individuals review that report. And they come back and say, hey, here's some areas that you're still not doing well in. Typically, on average, that's about 11 or 12 recommendations.
Just those key findings that they come back and for the viewing audience, those community members or the committee members are members from different communities from across the southern United States. So they're not allowed to be in Texas. They have to be from other states. They come in, they review that probably 1,500-page document or so, and then they look for recommendations through all the documentation to give us some feedback on things we could be doing better. So typically
You typically have at the offsite review, which is, again, a different committee of individuals, but still our peers across different states. You typically have somewhere between 11 and 12 recommendations. We had 5. And one of those was just because of a link did not work. So we actually only have 4.
So 4 going into the on-site. Then they come and spend several days with us, and we talk about all things BC. And after that process was completed, we got not just a really good report, but we got a perfect report, which is it's almost unheard of. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. And so the bigger lesson out of that, though, is that we accomplish what we can accomplish as a team. So one of the things I laugh about is that Brad McGonigal, our senior vice president of administration, I think if he retires, he has a side career in logistics planning.
And transportation.
Okay, because he
enjoys
arranged
it,
all
yes.
of the transportation, pickup, drop off, everything that we were doing. And I think everyone was in their lane and really had a chance to be a significant part of the team. Dr. Watts, her team led hospitality. Dr. Bart led her team, trained all of our student ambassadors and, worked with Madge Griffith Elementary to get good night notes for all of our team members. When I tell you that as a team, we can accomplish anything. And I think that was the lesson that I got. And I want to continue to build on that momentum as a team. And then also as a leader, one of the things we get out of all of these experiences is if we don't panic, they don't panic. So if I came in panicking and say, we only have 10 months to do this, guess what? Everybody else is going to fall apart. Okay. But if I don't panic, my team doesn't panic. So those are just some of the things I got out of it.
Well, one out of many things. And these are going to be the kinds of things that our viewing audience will be listening to the podcasts with Dr. B. And Dr. B, the title that you've come up for your version of Chomp Talk is Be All You Can Be with Dr. B.
Yes.
All right. Very cool. So Tanisha will be serving as your executive director, and she is essentially going to be the scheduler, organizer, putting all this together for all the things that are internal. Tanisha, you've been with the campus how long now?
For 8 years.
8 years. You've grown a lot in that time, and you've now you're working on your doctorate. So when is the big celebration party going to be? Soon. Soon. Very good. Okay. Well, we look forward to you to welcome you to the doctoral ranks and calling you Dr. Millender. So that's got a really good ring to it. So very good. Well, so Dr. B soon. What are some of the things that you're working on that you can share with the viewing audience for Dr. Baucham's Be All You Can Be with Dr. B first few podcast sessions?
So the first 3 we kind of have lined up right now. So the first one will be the return on investment programs.
The ROI programs that
ROI
we're working on.
programs,
Yep.
yes. And that will be with Dr. Ann Bartlett, Samantha Restiker, and Chris Mazzino.
So let's talk a little bit about that. For our viewing audience, we have put together a cadre of 3 programs that are going to be deployed in our community that are essentially going to be an investment of our dollars back into the community, where students that participate in these programs don't have to worry about the cost of tuition, fees, or books. So we are going to scholarship all of these amazing students, and these 3 programs, which we call our ROI programs, return on investment programs, are going to be in nursing, police academy, and there are going to be scholarships for general students that are coming to us from the community. So we're really excited about deploying these programs. And this is going to be the first initiative that you guys are going to talk about in depth on your first podcast.
Correct, yes.
So what's after that podcast you guys are going to be
After
working on?
We'll be diving right into esports.
So tell the world about esports. We just had our big grand opening.
Big ribbon cutting. So we'll be right then speaking with Dr. Maravi, Annalisa, and Jacob Ray. So I personally have a veteran that is in esports. So
I know exactly who you're talking about. I was just talking about him yesterday. Yep.
he is a really big proponent because coming from the Marine Corps, he said esports actually helped him along his path. So he said joining esports gave him a sense of direction and a little piece of structure that he was missing. And he feels like that space is where he thrives and he's helped people in that area.
We were just talking about that young man because we were asking, we had a roundtable discussion and we said, we need to identify some really well-spoken students that we can put in front of an audience. And then I said, you know, the young man who's in esports, who's also in the veterans program, I said, he's super well-spoken. He's very articulate. He's very involved. And then he's got this amazing hair. So I'm like, wow, okay, so he's got the full package there. But we're excited about having him on at some point, but also serving in some of these other capacities to help articulate what's important to students. So you're going to do that as your second story.
Yes.
Okay, what's your third one that you got lined up?
The big one is the facilities master plan.
That's a big one.
And how it's going to affect our students. So on the student side of it. So we'll be speaking with Dr. Baucham, we'll be speaking with Dr. Watts, Dr. Mills, those in student services, who and how those changes that middle change and how we're moving into different areas of holistic advising and how case management and all those things and different areas of student services will impact our students.
Absolutely. So I think that that's one of the things that for our viewing audience that's really important is that we are in a two-pronged approach to our facilities master planning. We are doing a $25 million renovation and facelift upgrade for the institution. We'll talk a little bit about that with Carl in just a bit because he's got one of our crown jewel projects in that space. But the other piece is we also have over the next 10 years a $30 million investment in our infrastructure. So between our facilities master plan at $25 million and our infrastructure plan at $30 million, we're doing all of this with our internal funds. We're not seeking new taxes. We're not going out for a bond. We have been very diligent about how we manage the institutional dollars to make sure that we bring these kinds of programs to bear for the campus. I'm excited you guys are going to be talking about these three things. So for the viewing audience, you've got a big podcast coming to you about our facilities master plan where they're going to get into all the details and you get to see some really cool renditions. You're going to talk a little bit about esports, which is a fastest growing program on campus. One of the things for our viewing audience that may be of interest, it's not just esports. Dr. Baucham, tell us a little bit about this program on being a social media influencer. This is an actual academic program. What's in the works for that?
So we will launch that program in the spring of 2026. Part of digital media is really understanding your audience and actually understanding technology. We've actually developed a program that combines both. How do you tap into your audience and how do you effectively utilize technology in order to influence in a more holistic and healthy way? We're very excited about how we're going to move into that space.
So let me ask this. So we're talking about the digital spaces, the esports, going back to the esports piece. So when they first came to us with that idea, we want to be supportive of ideas, right? But obviously this takes resources and a commitment of the institution. But one of the things that I found really enjoyable about this experience was our faculty. Jacob Ray, who's an amazing young man, Dr. Cheyenne Marabi, who serves as a dean in that space, Annalisa Gideon, who have kind of led all these initiatives. We went from having a club in esports, and this is e-gaming for the audience. That club morphed very quickly to over 150 students participating. That was our fastest growing club. It just happened so quick and so fast. It's okay, there's something there. And we put together official esports pieces. Those have now morphed into 5 official teams for the institution. And then we recently just got accepted to the NJCAA, which is the National Junior Collegiate Association for Esports. So we're really excited about that because now our students get to compete in official competitions in the esports space. So brave new world. Who would have thought that? I read this fact and this figure that said that there are more new programs in esports than there are the actual physical sports. So we're excited about being able to bring those kinds of learning environments to our students.
And with esports, I think we backtrack a little bit to October 2024. When the gaming club was hosting an event, and it was sort of a Halloween-themed event. And you, myself, some of the board members, Jeff Dietrich, our vice president for academic affairs, we were all at the event, and we couldn't get in the room.
That's it.
We could not get in the room. And then
we couldn't get in there because it was packed with people.
Because it was packed. It was completely packed. And then once we got in, we actually saw that they were connecting with students that were online as well. So they were gaming right in the room, in 2 rooms actually, and then they were gaming with students that were actually online. That was the point when I think we all knew we need to invest in this. And it was a way to connect both face-to-face and online students. And, we made them promise to put in at least one game for the old timers. We want Miss Pac-Man in there because that's about the only ones we understand. However, the more Jacob shared with us and we learned that this was a $1 billion industry.
Jobs, training, a lot of social skills development. What was interesting that day, I remember it vividly because somebody said, Dr. Sleeves, would you like to play? And then one of the other students says, the president doesn't play games. So I was like, oh, I like it. I like that student. Gave that kid an immediate scholarship and got him a 4.0, and now he's at Harvard somewhere. So he's a smart kid. But in all seriousness, it really is a space for students to grow their skills, develop the kinds of skill sets that they're going to need to be successful in a very lucrative environment. So we're happy about having that. Let's jump to Carl. Carl Grossman, how long have you been on campus?
Oh, since 2010. I
2010?
came in as an adjunct, was that until 2020, and went full-time, and I really appreciate the opportunities that BC has given me. And I was also here during my degree process from 2004 to 2008.
So you're a product not only as a team member, but you received your education here.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Now, Carl, you are also the lead for our petrochemical program.
Yes, sir.
So you are working on a project related to our facilities master plan, which entails the possibility of revamping our lab space. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure can. We have some great endeavors to be able to support the community and the industry at large. Our program right now supports 3 different programs, and one of the things that we have, because of all the industry training that we do, as well as our credit class training, is the asset utilization. So we quickly saw the need and opportunity to expand our equipment and application of the industry type of equipment for the students and for the industry at large. So we're actually looking at a structure that's going to be multi-level, about 60 by 100 feet in footprint, that would give us the flexibility to get everyone serviced, student and industry alike, on this campus. So we're looking forward to that. We have a lot of industry partners that are coming very excited about that opportunity, asking us details about the type of training that they could have their employees do here, as well as asking questions about the type of student that would be produced by utilizing that type of equipment. So we're very excited about the opportunity.
So, Carl, let me ask you a follow-up question. So you're going to be having a similar role, in addition to everything that you do, similar to Tanisha, serving as executive producer. You're going to handle the podcast that I'll be doing that are going to be external facing, and we're going to be bringing in guests. What's on tap for the first couple of podcasts starting in 26?
Some excellent distinguished guests will be coming on board who supports our Texas in legislation, who supports our community as far as our Sheriff, Bo Stillman, will be on the horizon. We also have a U.S. Representative, Weber, that we're looking at to be able to bring on board. It's a great guest group that is going to be able to give us some insight about the different leadership aspects and things of that nature that propelled them into their career and their path.
You're also working with Captain Tom Chaby. You want to tell us a little bit about, because it seems like he's going to be our first one in January potentially.
Yes, exactly. Captain Tom Chamey retired from Navy. He was a SEAL in Navy. He also did a lot of training. He has a great website that he's actually doing talks around the country for sports teams and big companies and things of that nature.
He focuses on, I guess, high performance individuals, and I guess he was a Navy SEAL for 26 years. Handled a lot of big projects for the government, and obviously in that world, leadership is a big part of what makes them successful. So for the viewing audience, having our external guests that, like as Carl mentioned, we're going to be looking at bringing in our county sheriff, our county judges, local reps, U.S. reps, but also individuals like Captain Chaby, who bring an external experience. And our focus on the podcast that I'll be doing is really going to be focused on leadership. Leadership, personal journeys, the experience that got them there, their commitment to service. We're really focused on bringing in individuals that are going to be or have demonstrated a commitment to our community or to the college or bring value in our discussions about leadership and how we navigate this complicated world with these skill sets that we then work to convey to our students. So, Dr. Baucham, going back to you in that space with the podcast piece, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to most beyond having your guests on campus and promoting the campus to the community?
I'm looking forward, one, to give the students a forum to hear their voice, for individuals to be able to hear about the student experience. Would love to have a veteran, would love to have individuals from workforce, and then those that might actually be in business technology all in one space, and so that they can articulate their experiences. I'm also excited for the communities to see us as relatable individuals. I mean, you're the provost, you're the president. We're just everyday people.
That's it.
Who really are very vested in student success. That's what drives us every day. And so I'm also hoping that comes across in that podcast.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is also really working to provide the kind of information to the community about our Vision 2030. You know, one of the things about strategic planning, which we just completed our process, is that strategic planning for organizations used to be a 10-year process. Then it became 8 years, then 6 years, then 5, then 4, then 3. In the rapidly changing environment that we exist in the space of higher education, we still have to set our plans for the next 5 years. So our Vision 2030 encapsulates that. But in the time frame, we have what Dr. Baucham developed in terms of yearly pit stops so that we can stop, look, analyze our data, make adjustments as needed. So we're going to be talking about that in our future podcasts in terms of where we're at with our big, broad pictures. There are 7 sub-master plans that feed into that, everything from campus safety to campus technology, because that's a big piece of what we're doing. The academic master plan that Dr. Baucham will be talking about at some point in the future, our student success enrollment plan. So all of these things feed into a master cohesive approach to how we do our work at Brazosport. So Tanisha, getting back to you, ma'am, what are you looking forward to as being the executive producer for the podcast related to campus?
As it related to campus, since I do work closely with students, that's the main thing I want. I want for students to be more informed, be an informed consumer of where they are. So for them to be able to understand who's who are the key players, what the campus offers, because a lot of times they don't know, and students don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to them being able to say, oh yeah, I know that. I know where to go. I can do this, and they offer this, I can go there, or even to just know what questions to ask.
Right, that's a big piece, asking good questions.
Right. So I feel like this podcast will give them that tool in that toolbox that they can take with them along their journey.
So Tanisha, let me ask you and Carl a question. So you both work with students. This is one of the things that Dr. Baucham and I lament, that while we get to see students on a regular basis, we don't get to see them all the time. Your jobs are front and center, either teaching and or serving the students. You serve a very special population with our veterans. So to all of our veterans, thank you for giving us the ability to chase our freedom, the freedom to chase our dreams and our goals. And Tanisha works with those students to ensure that they have what they need. And then Carl is in the classroom with our students on a daily basis. So my question to both of you is, what are you experiencing with students right now, fall 2025? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the opportunities that we have with students? You come in and you're dealing with advising, with their schedules, with their future plans.
Mm-hmm.
But in that mix, they will also tell you, Ms. Millender, I'm having issues with A, B, or C.
One of the main things a lot of them do have issues with is balance. I have a lot of single parents where childcare is a major issue. So helping to direct them to spaces where they can get that type of resource. That's one of our main issues a lot of times, is just the childcare piece, or just the balance of it all. So it's the work-life balance and having to be able to explain to them the difference in being a full-time. You don't have to be full-time. You can scale it back, or trying to get them to be able to advocate for themselves is one of the biggest things that I do have to get them. It's okay, I can speak up for you, but you're going to have to do it too. So being a service that space so they can advocate and give them the tools. One of the things is always like a learning deficit. From my veterans especially, they've been out of school or anywhere for some 10 plus years. So a lot of times jumping back in on the academic side is a struggle.
Now, let me ask this, Tanisha, and I'm going to get back to you, Carl, because I've got the same question for you about what you're experiencing with the students in the classroom. But you are also a veteran.
Correct.
Right? And your MOS, so you were in armor, which you and I always have these interesting discussions about. Your job is putting together the weapons that our warfighters use.
Yes.
You had a great experience, but you're also extremely relatable to the students that walk in there. So I think that the conversations you can have with our veteran students and our veteran is very different from the conversation that Dr. Baucham or myself or Carl can have, just because of your lived experience. How does that shape how you interact with our students?
Oh, it helps tremendously, because a lot of times that is the first question they ask.
You got instant street cred.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's did you serve too?
Yeah.
And that's like, and they kind of ask it in a comical way, as if she didn't.
Yeah.
But, and I say, yeah. And then I say, they'll ask me, what was your MOS? And I tell them, they was like, wait a minute.
That's what I said when you told me what your MOS was. I was like, an MOS for the Vietnamese Military Occupational Services. I was, when she told me she used to be a gunsmith, I'm like, really? That's a fascinating field. But she did that. So I know that putting you in that position helps reach our very special population. And coming back to you, because I had a question about credits that you can earn prior to being on campus
Sure.
with one of the products for both of you. Carl, what are you experienced as a teacher? So you're not only the chair, you're not only the visionary leader for that department, but you get to teach students day to day, all week. What are you experiencing with your students? And you got a different kind of student because you're dealing with career technical students, and these are the kinds of students that are going to come in. They're ready to get all the skills that they need so they can jump into the workforce. What are you experiencing fall 2025 with your students in the classroom? What are the pros, cons, challenges, opportunities?
Oh, great. Well, first, Tanisha, I learned something new today. I didn't
Yeah.
know, sir. Thank you for serving. And
Yeah.
what a great thing.
You need
do.
your gun to be fixed. She'll hook you up.
She'll be able to teach
That's
me
it.
a lot.
Yeah.
Well, challenges. So in our particular division, we have a lot of students who come in who work already full-time, things of that nature. So a balance of work, family, and educational time. That's always a struggle. We also have high school students who are dual credit, and they struggle with making a transition from high school into this environment. Particularly in our division, we're training students to be able to be successful in a chemical industry that has its own safety issues and things of that nature they've never been exposed to. So trying to get them to prepare and understand that what they're learning here for their career path they have chosen is difficult for them to make that sometimes.
So, Carl, let me ask this. So you get listed by our students. Actually, you have several faculty members that on a regular basis receive the highest compliments from our students. Things like those are the best instructors. How many times have we used your faculty as examples of we get these really great personal stories about how they help shape someone's life in the classroom? What do you think it is about your group that allows so many students to connect with them in that way? Are you guys doing something by design? Is it the people that you hire? What makes that group so relatable to our students, and why do our students tout them so much, in your opinion, as the leader of that group?
In my opinion, I'm blessed to work with a great group of people. So part of it is the people we have chosen to support BC in this endeavor. Part of it is that they have lived the experience and they know what these students are up against as they go into the world and the career path that we're trying to prepare them for. So they take a vested interest in them personally to want to see them succeed, wanted to see them flourish. And all of us in my division have stories of students as they first come to this college, and then opportunities that you get to see them get a job. And then I've been blessed with the opportunity to when I was still working for Dow Chemical and taught here that a student would come into Dow and I'd ask him, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
"Mr. Grossman, I have an interview." Fantastic, and get to
Awesome.
celebrate that with them. One student I followed with, he would come in and I'd see him again. He'd come into my training at Dow, and then he told me, "I'm buying my first truck. I'm
that's
buying my
awesome.
first house. Mr. Grossman, I'm getting married. Mr. Grossman, we have a daughter on the way." And for me, that was such a joy that if I could contribute just a minute amount to that young man to be successful, that's why I'm here.
Now, Carl, what percentage of your faculty are from industry? Because that's also something that's kind of unique about your group. So I would venture to say that the majority of your faculty are either retirees, or they're still active in industry, or they were very heavily involved in their previous careers. What percentage of your faculty have that real world experience in the space?
100%.
All of them,
Every
right?
single
Yeah.
one of them have been retired from the industry for a fairly short period of time. I myself since 2020.
Yeah.
And
So
and
you retired 2020, you started working in 2020.
immediately.
All
Yeah.
right, good.
So I was
Well,
already
good
here
for
as an
you, Carl.
adjunct,
That's
and
awesome.
it's funny a story because I called up the chair at that time and says, "Hey, Mr. Hicks, I am retiring. So do you have a spot for me?" He goes, "When can you start?" I said, "Well, I have 2 weeks." He said, "Well, double up. Take your 2 weeks and start the semester."
Gary Hicks, I love it. Yeah, he was. So you had big shoes to fill. You've done a really great job.
Huge. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
sir. I'm humbled.
Did you
and
ever see
blessed.
yourself in the role as the chair? So you show up to campus, you're adjunct, then you retire, then you become a full-time faculty member. 5 years later, you're the man. So what was that journey like for you? And did you ever envision yourself in that space?
I never envisioned myself in that space because part of us have lived for our first career in the industry. We were ready to take a different path.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much I thought for or against it. But when I was asked to consider it, through a lot of prayer and
That's
supplication,
it.
I accepted. So
Very cool. Well, we're glad you did.
thank you, sir.
You mentioned something, Dr. Baucham, is important, dual enrollment. So dual enrollment for the viewing audience, these are the students that we have in high school. They are college students taking classes while they are in high school. There are lots of opportunities. We will be having full-blown programs about dual enrollment because it's a really important aspect of our uh, uh, BC pieces to the puzzle. We have about 36% of our credit students, which is about 1,600 students, that are in the dual enrollment space. We had a 30% growth this year in this environment. Dr. Baucham, tell us what's going on with that, and also, can you share with the viewing audience that 90% overall success rate that those students have? Talk us through the partnership that we have with our ISDs, and tell us, why is dual enrollment so important?
Dual credit and dual enrollment actually are very important for a number of different reasons. One, we actually have some students that want to get their core classes, which are math and English and science. They want to get those complete before they transfer to a 4-year institution. We have the opportunity to help get them college ready, if you will, by taking these classes. And they are able to actually see the interaction with an instructor, a college level instructor, and the differences between the accountability as far as a college level instructor and then the high school instructor. So that they get a full experience, not just in the classroom, but also the study habits that are required. They also get an opportunity to utilize the resources we have both on campus as well as at the high schools. So that experience for high school students alone is different. Why is this important? Because it's a game changer for so many of the lives of our students. First off, again, the transfer students, but then we have some students that don't intend to transfer. They want to be in workforce. And so our partnerships with the ISDs, which is we actually have, we serve Sweeney, we serve Brazosport, Columbia, Angleton. We serve all of the different communities. And so each of the communities actually have the opportunity to say, these are the classes we want our students to take.
Now, Dr. Baucham, they have a 90% success rate.
Yes.
Why, you're the person in charge of academics. Why do you think our students do so well in that space? What's in the sauce?
It is a combination of things. One, the instructors that we have in the classroom, they actually have training to work with our dual credit students. That's a big part of it. Two, we ensure that we have some level of consistency across the classes that are taught. So if English learning frameworks is taught one way at Sweeney, it's also taught the same way at Angleton, which helps students actually have a level of consistency. That's very beneficial. And then we have students that are actually very hardworking. And so anywhere on any given semester, we have student success rates between 86% and 90% in all of our classes, which is unheard of.
Yeah, first, kudos to that. For the viewing audience, dual enrollment, especially for parents that have their children at the high school, keep dual enrollment in mind. Give Dr. Baucham a call me, send us an email. We'd love to spend some time sharing with you all the benefits. For many students, this happens at no cost because there are programs that allow the state to cover the cost of doing the dual enrollment classes. We've got digital textbooks in the space. So it's a great opportunity for anybody who wants to do that. We have students that are graduating with their associate's degree before they graduate with their high school degree. So these are very talented individuals that we have in the community. In many instances, the students and the parents have very nominal or minimal or no costs at all. But it's a great way to not only a student get their foot in the door with college, they can take one class and then maybe two classes, but during the course of their high school career, they can take enough credits if they're on the right track to graduate from Brazosport College before they even graduate from their high school. It's a great program. We encourage any parent who's out there who's interested in wanting to know more about dual to please contact Dr. Baucham or any member of the dual enrollment team, and we'd love to get that information over to you.
We also have an excellent director for dual enrollment. We have high school advisors that are actually a part of BC, and they are actually housed at the high schools. So they help the students actually navigate what classes they should be taking. And so the success rate there continues to be what it is because of the investment of all of the people involved.
Cool. I got one other question because I know that we are butting up against our time, but Tanisha, let's talk a little bit about prior learning credit. What is it? How does it work? particularly for our veterans that are coming in with military experience in a given field. Walk us through this, because this is another one of these programs you guys are going to be talking about. There's just so much happening to BC, folks, that it's hard to kind of encapsulate it all in one show. That's why Dr. Baucham and Tanisha are going to be working on all the things that are related to the things that are happening on campus. But the Prior Learning Credit Program is a program where we provide college credit for your lived experience while you're doing things like military service. So Tanisha, tell us a little bit about this, because this is definitely one of the things that we want to kind of provide a snippet to as future programs come up on this podcast.
So on the military side of it, the credit for prior learning works basically, you have to do an official request. So it's not automatic.
Right.
So once the official request
And
is
that goes through
received,
you?
that will go to a job forms and I will receive that. Once I receive that official request, you attach a copy of your joint service transcripts or your community college of the Air Force, because they have their own college. You attach either of those, whichever applies to you. I receive that. What's important in this process is when you apply to BC, you have to make sure that your actual program that's on file is accurate.
Right.
Because when I
But
receive
you
the
walk them
request,
through all of this.
well, I can. If they come to me first, yes, I can. And that's exactly what we want. So I can make sure that everything is done properly. So when I do receive that request, I run their joint service transcripts against their current program version.
So let me ask you this, Nisa. So in an ideal situation, and each case is unique, but where's a great example of where a student came to you or came to the department and said, I've got all this experience, how many credits do I get for it? What's the most you've ever seen somebody get credit for their prior experience?
So the most I've seen was about maybe 40 plus credits.
So for the viewing audience, with 6 more classes or thereabouts, you can get your associate's degree. So for our veterans that might be watching this, or if you know a veteran that may be interested in coming back to school, please make sure you reach out to Tanisha so that you can talk about prior learning credit, because you'd be surprised, maybe even amazed at how many credits you have in queue that just need to be transcribed. And then you just take a few more classes with Carl or his faculty or any of the other amazing faculty that we have on campus. And within a semester or two, you're out the door with an associate's degree. So something that's really important. But Tanisha, you're the point of contact for that piece. So absolutely. Okay, folks, as we get towards the end of this, we're excited about the future podcasts that are going to be airing. We are going to work very diligently to get 2 out per month. One is going to be focused on my end on external guests to the college with an emphasis on leadership development, and personal stories and journeys. Dr. Baucham is going to have her own version of Chomp Talk, which is going to be All You Can Be with Dr. B, and she's going to focus on the internals. Folks, closing comments. What do we want to leave the audience with? Carl, you're up. No pressure.
I welcome everybody that watches this and look forward to you watching all the following podcasts from Dr. Baucham and Dr. Solis. I think you'll find a lot of interesting guests, a lot of opportunities to learn and be able to flourish here at BC.
Thank you, Carl. Tanisha.
I'm looking forward to, I want to leave everybody with just a few things. I am looking forward to all of the increase in enrollment from this, because I can see the community being able to see what the college offers.
Yeah.
And be able to relate and connect and say, oh, I'm not too old to go back.
We're never too old.
Right.
We're
So
never too old.
I am looking forward to the floodgates to be open
Let's do it.
and just welcome all those people in for a great student experience after this.
Well, I know you're going to be putting together a great lineup. Both of you are. We appreciate you stepping into this role of executive producers for the Chomp Talk podcast. I would also be remiss if we did not thank our IT people. You don't see them behind the scenes, but Aiden and Brian make the magic happen along with our marketing team. They make all of this possible. We couldn't do it without them. So to our closing comments, I'm going to turn to our provost. Dr. Baucham, what are you most excited about with the podcast, and what are you looking forward to in the next couple of weeks and months as we get into Be All You Can Be with Dr. B?
I am most excited about the podcast. Again, just the connection with the community. I am looking forward to getting the calls or the emails. Hey, we saw, the podcast about esports. Can you send us additional information? I am looking forward to us being able to tout our employment rates. That we work, like the Law Enforcement Academy has a 100% pass rate,
amazing.
pass rate, as well as everyone that graduates from the program is employed. Those are things that the community doesn't know. And then also for the students that are listening, I want students, let's remove the stigma or the shame of getting the help that you need. We want to talk about the fact that you can come to campus and get 80 pounds of food every 2 weeks. We also have a licensed therapist if you are struggling
She's
with
amazing,
mental
by
health.
the way.
And she
Great
is
job.
amazing. And
She is phenomenal.
We want students, come get the support that you need. And so that's also something I'm hoping that the podcast will be able to showcase.
Thank you, Dr. Baucham. And for the viewing audience, please keep in mind that all administrators on campus, from the president to the provost, our VPs, our faculty members, our staff members, we all have open door policies. You can reach us via email. You can call us. You can come by and visit. If we are available, we absolutely love visiting with our community, future students, or current students. So please take advantage of having these open door policies. It's how we live our lives at BC in terms of our expectations of ourselves and each other and how we serve our students. So call with any questions, email, come by and visit, come check out all the amazing things like our new esports lab, the labs that we're creating for our future academic programs, and all the amazing things that are happening at BC. This is the last podcast of 2025. I want to thank all the folks that helped make it happen. We look forward to a fruitful and amazing 2026 as we launch these new initiatives in the digital space so that we can continue to keep our community, our students, our faculty, staff, and all the supporters of BC informed of all the amazing things that happen at your community college located here in Lake Jackson, Clute, Texas. Thank you so much. See you all soon.